Things starting.
Hello, everybody. Good
Hi.
afternoon, everybody. Good evening, everyone, wherever you are. I know it's wide and far. Going to be talking about keeping our team together. How do we go about it? Why should we go about it? Surely, if people join, they join because the products are good or the business opportunity is good. So why would they leave? Maybe, even maybe, join someone else. But why would they leave? And how do you glue them to you and the team? So this is going to be an open discussion. I'd like maybe start with what who I can start with. That's Sean. So Sean, can you piss off?
Yeah. Well, if you keep having people coming in and going out, it doesn't really work. But we've got to remember what team stands for, and that is together, and the operative word being together, everyone achieves more. So if they're not achieving, they're not going to stick together. So their whole idea should be to make it that they want to stick around, that they're growing, that we're not just doing the same old, same old, same old, that they're growing and developing. And if we're not developing a good relationship with our team members, they're not going to stay around. They're going to disappear. So we need to focus on building that relationship. As Jerry always put it, near life is built one relationship at a time. And if we're not there creating a relationship, if we just act as if our team are a cash cow and that, thanks very much, you've joined me, I've got my money out of you now, have a nice life, they're not going to hang about. So they need to understand that we work together. And as Don Fail always says, when we sponsor somebody, we work for them, not the other way around.
Okay. Thank you, Sean. Well done. John. Good. Right, Nancy.
Oh, me. Okay. I'm always thinking what Charlie tells us to do. And okay, up to now, I didn't have any builders, but it always stick to my mind what he said. I don't say the team is doing that wrong, but I've made personally a mental note on what Charlie said, and you will all know what he is saying, that we must help them so that they can start earning money. And I think we do it, but maybe it's not, the money is not coming in quick enough for them, or maybe they had another thing in mind that the money will just be flowing in. So yeah, it's that's what I think.
Thank you, Nancy.
And I can hardly hear you, Debbie. Me. Personal relationships are very, very important. You have to be quite long-suffering, put it that way, in that you have to listen to people. I phone people and they've got so many challenges, and I listen. All of a sudden, you get an order, not necessarily them, but my sister. They're people in Tongaat, and they know somebody. They're not even in the business, but then they tell me all about their troubles, which are many. But because you've been patient and listened, they always say you've got to be a listener. And I know I'm Rent-a-Mouth, Georgina Jabberjaws, and I found it quite a discipline to be long-suffering. And because you genuinely care, those people will support you. Not necessarily every month, but every now and again, they'll place an order. And that is quite exciting for me personally. And then on the chat on Monday, getting together, I actually met, well, I do see them every Friday, Vic and Dawn. Now their dog has died and now they want to be sociable. And I was saying, I'm just putting it out there, my place is open, John. If we can get together as people just to talk, because we encourage one another, that is also important, to get encouragement from each other. Like these Zoom meetings are very encouraging, but a physical presence is very important to me. So if you'd like to come, and my back is a bit of an issue at the moment, but I'll get somebody to scrub the red carpet and we'll get the brass band going and you can all come through my front door.
Thank you, Jen. Well done. And Mandy?
Well, I've had experience where I've had downlines and they are wanting to make money and they want other people to use the products, but they aren't using the products themselves. And yeah, that becomes a bit of a problem for them because they can't talk with authority on any of the products because they just aren't using them. And then for them to try and encourage their downline to use the products and to find customers, and when they're not doing it themselves, it doesn't work.
It doesn't. You're right. It doesn't. Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you for that. Just another thing that I was thinking as well, that came up from our last chat that we ended off with. I'm sorry, Curtin's not on, but yeah, she mentioned something about her. It gets people, they're buying the products, what they do, but then they're not growing and then they disappear. I think the most important thing in our business is to make people feel important. You have to make them feel important. Doesn't matter how you do it. Jen, by inviting them around for tea and coffee and just chatting, that's making them feel important. So, yeah, and I know John's very good at this. He's always buttering up people. I'm more, get on with it. So, at these meetings where there are other people, be proud of the person that you've brought. Like I know that Karina is very shy, and she comes in and we're fostering her. She's not in our team at all. It's got nothing to do with us whatsoever. She's totally a different team. But she's been around our team for a long time. And I don't know whether that is the reason, but as you've seen in other meetings, they come in and they sit down and they don't mix with anybody. So what I really think, what we really should be doing is just introducing them so that they know, hey, you're not the only person in this looking at this business, or we're not the only person using the product. And if we are sharp, we can share our story with them, which will help them. And for instance, if someone came to one of the meetings, Sean is our director. He's going on for Sapphire director. He's got quite a nice team. And what's so fantastic about Sean is the lovely testimony about, and I know that my friend has got arthritis. He's got a lovely testimony about arthritis. Sean, will you tell Jenny about your testimony with the arthritis? It's just an open conversation. You're not selling the product. You're just sharing and building a relationship so that, people can just understand that they're not alone in the business. There are others in the business on the same problem. So always introduce them to everybody and build the person up. Don't pull them down. Like I would never go and say, Ansi is a senior manager, but she's not qualifying. That I would not say. Jenny, Ansi is a senior manager and she's on her way to qualifying every single month. We're so excited about Ansi's business. It's really growing. That pull up, don't pull down. Okay.
Mhm. I was listening to a podcast today, and it was Rob Sperry chatting to another guy who's also a network marketer, and they made a very interesting comment. And this guy said, you need to get to know your team's love language. Everybody has their own love language, and some people thrive on touch, some people thrive on encouragement, some people thrive on conversation. And you throw me into a group of 20 people, and I'm the shadow because I'm not going to initiate a conversation. One-on-one, no problem. Four or more, I am the shadow, I am the wallpaper. I listen, I do not talk unless talked to. Even with family, that's me. So I'm not going to be bouncing around a room introducing myself to everybody that's there. But if I see somebody and I can see that on their own, and I'll go and have a chat to them one-on-one, different story. So we need to learn the other person's personality, love language, however, because one of them had said his love language is touch. And he said he'll happily go up to somebody and give them a hug. Male or female, doesn't make a difference. Now I get, whoa, in cases like that, because that's not me. It was interesting because he said his wife's love language is not touch. So they're complete opposites.
Uh-oh.
They've been married for 20 odd years. So obviously something's worked somewhere along the line. So that it was interesting because everybody is different. You know me 20 years ago.
That's where I'm coming from. It's your person is
Yes.
probably a shadow like you, Sean.
Mhm.
You need to bring them out because they'll never grow if they don't grow out. So ideally is to invite get them to speak to, say, someone who's just one-on-one
Yes.
and yourself. Just introduce them. Hi, Sean, this is Ansi. She's my friend. She's come to have a look at the products. She's come to have a look at the business side, and that's all you have to do is just introduce them. So so that they don't feel a spare part, they feel important.
Part of the group.
Not as important as Jenny's friend, where she says, we're going to keep you a seat. So please let me know if you're coming or not. And the whole and lots of it.
The only one.
You
Yeah.
made them feel important though.
She didn't sign up though.
I don't think she believed you. Oh, it's so fun. Yeah. Okay. Anyone else with anything?
I'd like to just say something about when people come to our meeting, our plan. I think we're going to try and keep as close to the plan as we can. So that suddenly, like Sean's doing a presentation, and then when we go and do a one-on-one, we show him something that's so a whole set of different areas and equations and confuse a person. So I think if we stick to the basic, that one where contact, it's nameless contact, first call, second call, invite them to a BI or a QI, or get them to a meeting. So there's a simple little rota of things to do with that timeline. And the more they do it, the more confident they're going to get. But what you said, Mandy, is that you can make some money. Now, how are you going to make money for these people that are coming in? Well, here's a suggestion. As Debbie did that in the beginning, where she would say, listen, I'd like to come. As you go to a person in a group there, you'd like to come to your house next week. Would you like to invite 3 or 4 people? Not a lot, just 2 or 3, 4 people. And have the person who's we building up, they've got to be thirsty. So then in the beginning, I think they've got to get confident. If I don't know or don't understand something, I'm going to run away from that because I don't want to make myself an idiot and try and explain something I don't understand. But if you have a look at someone who's confident with what they're doing, it's a lot of repetition that we need to do. But the first one, remember on the kit opening, when we open up a kit in the very beginning, we open the kit and we show them what's what the kit and just the basic of the business. Number two, that you with this new person, you can either do it or you can get him to do it, and you watch. So then you are watching and train, teachers teaching, teachers are teaching. I think maybe just my own thought, you might be letting go too early. If I look in your case, Sean, in the very beginning, how shy were you? You were so incredibly shy. I said, I actually felt in my own heart, look, I won't say it, but you know, it's going to take you a long time before you start speaking to people. And yet you develop your own set of rules or your own parameters where you could operate and feel comfortable with. You don't have to copy every person that you, and I think most of your stuff right now, you've got to go by yourself through your own research. So it's like self-taught there. But don't expect too many people in your team to do what you do. You far exceed the clever bracket at the top here. So they might not be able to handle it. And this is what we call character people. Sometimes you've got to just help them pass that barrier of inviting just the basics. I think in the beginning we used to say, bring your names list. Just go through that. And that's quite the hardest thing, especially when you put in a names list and they're giving you a bit of a tough time. They've got to see how you handle that. Don't do what Daryl Mail did, getting holidays. If that guy gave him a little bit of uphill, he would take that names list, roll it up in his hand, and then he had a portable toilet on his desk, and he flushed it. I don't mind. I never want to speak to that guy ever again. Now, it can work sometimes, but it's not a good idea. As someone said this time, the timing might not be right then, but it will be right later on. So when the clock comes round again, then just broach it, but on another level. Try not to use the same spiel that you use in the beginning. Just bring it round in another way. Thank you.
I was speaking to Andrew, Drew, speaking to Drew, and he was saying that the best way to take people to the meetings, you know, our once a month meeting here in Durban, is first to do a one-on-one. He didn't say a one-on-one, but he said, please tell them something about the business. So when they arrive, they're not absolutely clueless of what they're coming to, or where they're going, or what is happening. Yeah, and I think, I don't know, I think also another thing as well, pick them up, you know, they're important. So you pick them up. They look, really, are we going to the same place? What time till I pick you up? And then put your phone off. They can't say, no, I'm not coming. But yeah, you always find that that's fine. I usually say to them, listen, because John and I are setting up the hall, we do need to be there quite early. So when we pick you up, and I give a good early time so that we're not late. Because I think that's also, I've noticed the leaders, that because they're picking up people, they're arriving halfway through their meeting and they're disrupting the meeting, and they need to be talking and they're not there. So you put someone else in their place until someone comes. Yeah, it's just so disruptive. So we always, if the meeting's at 2, we say, right, I'm setting up the hall and I need to be there at 1:30. And I'm sorry if you're not ready at 1:30, I'll have to go without you, and that'll be really a pity, because then we'll have to wait until next month. You know, so really make it, that's it. And Jenny, what happens if you're 10 minutes late with John?
Even 5 minutes late, he just leaves you home. He's never done that to Ansi and I. We are always punctual.
I'm not that sure.
But-
You are.
But you just leave away.
On the dot.
Every time I've had tears running down my face, and you can't do that. You can't do it.
I'm
Yeah,
very
no,
long
he will drive away, but he's never done it to Ansi and I, because we
Yeah.
always on time. But
I'm very
I've got
suffering.
downlines. I've got 2 my
I see.
downlines. They've never ever been on time. It's just very stressful for me. And then they visit me, and then they never want to go home. I won't mention names, but you know who I'm talking about.
You're too kind.
Yeah, you know, you've got to respect each other's time. So that is just it's another thing of making a person feel important. Respect their time. You say you're going to be there at 2:00, be there at 2:00. Yeah, don't suddenly arrive 10 minutes late. Sorry, the traffic, or I got caught into this or that. That's just an excuse. Excuses are useless. If you can be 10 minutes late, you can be 10 minutes early. Just leave earlier in case there's a traffic. Sean is fantastic like that. Sean comes from furthest away and he's always first at the meetings.
Yeah.
Everyone's
I hate being
surprised
late.
as well. And Ansi as well.
Yeah. It's terrible being late. We take someone to church with us and she's so spot on. We had one lady, she was always late. We park at her gate, we peep the hooter, we send her a message, and then she'd eventually come out, not hurry, just come sort her up, get into the car, hello, and off we go. And then John would be so nasty, we'd give her a cold shoulder, and I would go, well, trying to calm everybody down. It was terrible. By the time you reach the meeting, you're all so uptight. So then this other lady that we give it a lift to, she says, I'm here, I'm waiting at your car. You know, he said, no. So I said, oh, you know somebody? She says, yes, if I'm giving a lift, I don't want anyone who's giving me a lift to wait for me, which is good. That's a good way to put it. Any other thoughts?
Just one thought. I don't think people care how much you know, and all your knowledge and all your PhDs and doctorates. I think they just want to care how much you care for them. And I think that's where it starts off. I mean, can they really trust your word? Is your word that you're going to say you're going to do this? I once gave a commitment to go do a talk in Newcastle or Ladysmith. I know it was further than Lincolnsway. And it was raining, it was miserable, and it was so far and we couldn't afford it. And I just had so many things that I could have said, look, I'm running late, or so the cat's got diarrhea, or whatever excuse I was going to use. But now I thought in the beginning, and even now, if I give my word I'm going to be there, I will do my very best. I will do what it takes. And if I can't, and I'm going to be 10 minutes late, I'm going to burn ahead. So I just think people are going to trust you, and they think, well, the word is good. Let's how we call this business from transparency. And I think a lot of problem comes in. Sometimes we sell the opportunity so high that they can make hundreds and thousands of brands. And the problem is when they don't make it
Last week.
in the first week, and they're not filed down directly in the second week. Maybe you oversold. Now, keep putting to say, listen, 5 to 10 hours of work per week, and here's a schedule. I'm going to be following this, and
All the meetings written down.
all the meetings.
Jenny was very good at that.
Jenny.
And you remember, Jenny, you had your bio that you gave them. These are, this is the meeting, that's the next one, that's the training, that's the.
Yeah,
that's
you
the-
still do that, hey?
Yeah, all written
You
down.
still give out a bio so you can follow up. If,
Yeah.
But you
Anyway,
ever
yeah,
collected back,
it's important.
you collected back.
Yes, that's how
just-
you collect it back because that's your excuse putting your foot back in the door.
Yeah,
But we
that's-
now have got somebody, anyway, I'm not going to be negative, but somebody here in my complex has joined and she's got my bio, but I can't get into her door. She's never, there's always an excuse.
No, that's
But
happened.
you know what? But it will happen.
We learned the hard way. I tell you what, I can remember, you know, before they couldn't go to the warehouse and get their kits. You had to deliver it. You had to give it to them. And the one couple, he said, listen, we've got your kit. They kept putting us off the bench. I said, listen, we need to get this kit to you. And we'd like to open it and show you the product. No, she says, this has happened, that's happened. Just drop it off. Which we did. We'd never have done it. Because we went back eventually when they were ready and we went back were sitting in the corner gathering dust.
Mm.
So yeah. So we need to also put a value on the business side, you know. That is a good kit. And we need to, as Charlie says, open those products so that they don't sell them. They use them. Once they use them, they will know how good they are. I mean, how many times have you first got your kit? What was your reaction? What did you do when you opened up your kit?
It is on the wall, but
No, I went round with a Super 10 bottle and I sprayed everything, carpet, walls. I really wanted to pick golden products at that stage. So I was going to find and think that this thing does not work, but I couldn't. But even to this day, no matter what it is, it'll get something else.
Now just go with
Yeah.
John. The one kit opening. It was somewhere on the Berea. Oh my goodness. And he took the crayon, he put it on the wall. My nerves. Just dirtied everything.
ever get
And
it
then
off,
went with
Jen?
the Super 10. Yeah, I remember all that. Oh golly. But yeah, something is for me personally, like this lady now, she's in my complex, and 3 times she's told me she's coming, and I put everything out, and she hasn't come. She still to this day hasn't come. But we mustn't get despondent. You know, I had to actually guard my mind and think, well, you know what? I had such high hopes with this person because they've got the money to buy the products and they drive a Porsche and the whole big toot. But so what? Dust yourself off next. Because you can, if you don't guard your mind, you can get despondent.
Absolutely. Got to be strong in your mind. Absolutely. Look, Ethan Fuhrer needs to say to us, we have to have a skin like a rhino. Skin like a rhino, but move like an elephant. Something like that was skin like an elephant and move like an elephant. Something like that. He had a funny little saying. But, yeah, and that was right in the beginning, and we realized, boy, oh boy, some people can really be funny. Because we are with people, and they are all different. Yeah, so you just have to go with the flow and just hang in there and don't be too sensitive. A lot of people are so sensitive. We did a talk at the Bible study on grace, and I think we don't give much grace to people. Yeah. So anyway, I really believe that we must just go with what they want. Don't give them all. Remember, you're the director of your business. So you can't just be their little servant or their little mat where they can wipe their feet over. No. You are the director of your business, and they're directors of their business, which is the way it should be. So yeah, I really, otherwise, start to think you're proud and start to be the main man of what counts, you know, and pride comes before a fall. So, yeah, humility is the name of the game.
But also by being a little bit more serious and making strict appointments shows that it's a business and not just a hobby. And I
That's
know
right.
that's one of the mistakes I tend to make is you almost give the impression, I almost give the impression that it's just one of those little hobby things that you do part-time when it is in fact it's a business and it needs to be treated as such.
Yeah.
And if you're a little bit more forceful and say, listen, I've got an appointment with you, I will be there at such and such a date, such and such time, because we're doing this, we are launching your business, and take it like that instead of, yeah, okay, when you've got a bit of time, we can do this, or when you've got a bit of, they're never going to have time. So if you
No, that's
make set
right.
appointments and make it a serious thing, it will probably be taken a little bit more seriously. And I know that's one of my
That's right.
mistakes. What's one of my downfalls?
Yeah. So that's
Uh,
quite right.
Yeah.
I
Eric Worry's
witnessed
got 5 questions that he always asks the people when he does his follow-ups. And question number 1 was, what did you like best based on what I just showed you? And the next one is, on a scale of 1 to 10, based on what I've just shared with you, where are you? 1 being you have 0 interest, and 10 being you're ready to get started right this second. Question 3 is, how much money would be worth your time? Hypothetically, if you got started in this business part-time, how much would you need to earn per month to make this worth your time? Number 4 is, how many hours a week, realistically, could you commit to developing that previously stated amount, monthly income? And question 5 is, how many months would you be willing to work those previously stated hours a week while you're developing a previously stated amount monthly income? The last one is, if I could show you how to develop a X amount monthly income working X hours a week over the course of the next X number of months, would you be ready to get started? And by doing that sort of interview, they can see that this is serious business. Because if they're wanting the 100,000 Rand a month, doing 1 hour every 6 weeks isn't going to do it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. And of course, but another way of showing them that you respect them and that they're important is listen to their answer.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just jump in, you know. And say, yeah, I can see you doing this business. That's looking fantastic, you know. You're doing this and doing that and going here and doing this and yeah. No, just listen to what they are trying to tell you, because they might not want to do what you want.
Correct.
They might want to do something totally different. So yeah, we used to have such fun when we opened kids. I wish we'd get back there, but people just seem to be more closed. I think it's because there's so many more marketing businesses out there. We need to be more astute. So remember the one couple we reached sharing, because I always say to them, I'm going to do a kit opening and invite as many people as you like so that you can show the products.
Mm-hmm.
And that always was very, very helpful, because then the time we arrived, remember, they had champagne and wine and cheese biscuits, and we had a real good party when I was showing them the plan. I've been showing them the business, you know, the products and everything. Yeah. Yeah, and it's exciting because times like that, if you make it exciting, don't show the plan. I would do the products, and we'd have cheese wine, shampoo, champagne, obviously we didn't partake, but they did. And once they're nice and merry, they were signing. They did. Next day they didn't. But anyway, it was fun while it lasted.
But just remember, if you always do what you've always done, you always get what you've always got. And for things to change, we've got to change. Otherwise,
They're
we're
not
not
going
gonna
to change.
So let's change something from now until next week, and let's see what actually worked for us. What did work for you? Let's share it.
Yeah.
One thing,
Good.
bring one thing to the meeting.
But what worked for you?
What worked for you?
Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks
Good
for
night,
being on the
everyone.
show.